Thank you for coming to this talk. I'm presenting also on behalf of Karen Johnson. This is our first social science conference, quite exciting. And we also have some social scientists in the team that are here today, Yolanda and Angela. And we'd like to thank the Great Barrier Reef Foundation and UQ for funding for this project. And before I forget, could you please keep your phone handy, because there is a little Mentimeter thing at the end. I'd like to acknowledge the Yugamba and Kombumerri peoples and pay their respects to elders past and present and emerging. And I also like to acknowledge the traditional owners that are with us today. So for those that are not familiar with the CoralWatch program, this is just a little chart, a little plastic chart that was developed in 2002, and it's a citizen science project based at UQ, where we just compare colours on the reef with the colours on the chart, and it's an indicator of reef health. CoralWatch really started as a monitoring program. We now have outreach and data from 80 countries, so it's global. From 2007, we recognized the need to do much more education, so we published the book Coral Reefs and Climate Change. We started an ambassador program in 2017 to get more volunteers for the reef through CoralWatch, helping us with all our outreach events, and our outreach has grown substantially thanks to our ambassadors. And the last few years we have been focusing much more on sustainability and what can we do if we're not on the reef, and how can we help reefs from home, which has grown into our What Can I Do program. I took this photo this February, and it was just devastating to see the impact of climate change on the reef. I've been to Heron Island many times, and this really big bommy was completely white, and it was heartbreaking. I could cry. And I came back in May and was quite relieved to see that at least there was some recovery with this beautiful bommy. And I was there last month, and I was very relieved to see that it more or less has recovered. So reefs are quite resilient, but we need to do much more to help them. Luckily, a lot of Australians do recognise that climate change is the greatest threat to reefs, but what we find is that most people don't know what to do and feel a bit helpless. So this is where our What Can I Do program comes in. And we're only at the start of the program, but our aims are really to engage with lots of communities. We're going to train youth ambassadors and their families in Townsville and Capricorn Coast region. We're going to invite First Nations people to engage, to reach out to the Queensland public and offer them solutions within 7 categories, pillars of change. And we will, for optimum effect and outputs, we'll explain benefits of living a sustainable life. If people see what it can do to you, that might help. And we will collect data. So we'll see what people are willing to do, what they do already, and where are the gaps, what's needed to inspire more people to do the right thing, to help the reef. So we use one of our resources that we use a lot is this fact sheet, which is just explaining people, because a lot of people really don't quite understand what the importance of reef is even, and what are the threats to reefs, but also providing directly the solutions, the things that you can do to help. And it raises a lot of awareness. So this fact sheet is going to be turned into an interactive online education and survey program. And we are testing this. We have tested this now with 22 people. We made a paper version of this idea just to see if what we think is going to work will work. So we've asked 22 people to basically look at 22 different climate actions and tell us, what do you do already? What are the things you would like to do, but you're maybe not sure about? And what are things you can't do? And it was really interesting to have this climate talk with people and hear their perspectives and reasoning behind why they find some things really hard to do. And we got some initial results. This is really just first results, but it is exciting to see that people feel quite comfortable to do actions in food, energy and waste space, and they feel confident about it. A lot of people are very keen to do much more in activism and protecting nature, but they're actually not quite sure how to do it. So we have identified a clear gap where we will also start with and work with. Travel was the part that people found very challenging and felt like there was a lot that they couldn't do, but that might also be related to where people live. So this online survey platform will be an education platform to inspire lots of people to do more. Will be launched in January. We will be training our current big group of ambassadors, but also training new ambassadors to help us promote this program and to basically really learn more about human behavior, why people are doing certain things and don't want to do other things, and how can we potentially change that, and what could we do? So it's also our question, what can we do? So what we focus on is within these 7 pillars of change, the biggest actions. So where can we make the biggest difference? Where can we reduce the most carbon? And in there, food is the one that we've now picked out. And the biggest thing you can do is really switching to a plant-based diet. And it's great to hear that we're going to have a vegetarian lunch today, organised by the conference. So could you please log in to Menti? And I'll just have 3 quick questions for you. Is everybody logged in? Not yet. Yeah. So we would love to get a little bit of feedback from you on plant-based diet, and if we can have the first slide. How often, this is not a test, please just be honest, how often do you currently eat a plant-based meal? Great to see a lot of people go for 3 to 5 times a week. That's great to see, and yeah, great result, thank you. And if we go to the next slide, what do you think? So this is not so much for you, it can be you as well, but what do you think are the barriers for people why they don't want to eat every day just plant-based food? Culture? Tradition, yeah. Picky children, I like that one. Great. Fantastic. So a lot of things that we will have a look at. I don't have time, unfortunately, to go into this, but we're going to look at all your responses. And the next one is the last one. And with our platform, we will ask people to take a pledge. And I'm hoping you can do a pledge today and choose one of these three suggestions. So who's willing to talk to others about this subject? Who could share this info on social media? And who's willing to cut out meat completely? Great, we're going to share the story. Thank you all, that was fantastic, thank you.